Hey guys, in this video I'm going to walk you through the complete process on how to set up your Shark robot vacuum out of the box. So I've just unboxed this. You have a little setup guide here. It's pretty simple. So the first thing that we're going to do is plug the dock into the wall. Now they recommend setting up the dock in an area where it's on a hard surface. You can see that I'm not able to do this in my situation. This is the best place for me to set it up. Fortunately, this carpet is pretty low pile and pretty firm in and of its own right, so I'm sure it'll probably be fine in this location. But for best practice and recommendation, they do recommend placing the base on a flat, level, hard floor surface in a location with a strong Wi-Fi signal. That's something also to keep in mind. You don't want to be too far away from your Wi-Fi signal so that you can set this up over the internet. And it also recommends that the base is at least 2 feet away from any carpeted surface with at least 2 feet of clearance in front and 1 foot on both sides. And again, like I said, you can see that's not the case with how I'm setting it up. And if you're in a similar situation, you can try setting it up on carpet if you have to and see how it goes. And you can always unplug the dock and move it somewhere else later if you need to do so. What I'm going to do at this point is take the plug from the back of the dock and plug it into the wall. The next thing we're going to do is flip the robot over and install the side brush and align it with the peg, click it into place. We're going to flip this over and take our little side brush and find this little place that we're going to slide it on, and we're just going to line it up, push it down, it snaps into place, and we're now good to go with that. So pretty easy setup with this. The roller and the brush are already good to go. And then we can see on the back of the unit, this is where the dust is going to be removed into the dock. So when it charges, it's going to back up to it in this direction so that it lines up and it can remove that dirt through that area. At this point, we want to take our robot vacuum and we're going to line it up and slide it into the dock. And we can see that when it's successfully charging, this light turns from green over to blue. And then we can see here, after a little bit of time, it should initiate the process where it's trying to get the dirt out of the machine. So after doing that initiation process, it will leave the dock, kind of move around a little bit, line itself up, and then go back into the dock. And when it successfully does this again, this light is going to go from green over to blue. So now it is sitting on the dock and charging. And it also says right here that it has auto evacuation. After 10 to 15 seconds on the base, your robot will begin to evacuate into the base, getting that dirt out of your robot vacuum into the base. Of course, we haven't initiated the first cleaning process, so it should be clean anyways. It's going to go through this auto evacuation process, whether there's dirt in the system or not, when it backs on to the charging station. Something also to mention on the base, you can empty out this container by just sliding it right out. There's a button here on the back that you can press in, it slides right out. And when you flip it over, we can open up the top, and that's how you evacuate the contents. That will pile up over time in here, all of that dust and dirt and things. You can empty that out into a garbage bin. So to put it back together, we're gonna close it back up, flip it around, and we can slide it right back into place. And it's pretty easy to do that, and it should make a clicking sound when it's back in there. And then also maybe once a month or so on this side, you're gonna wanna clean out the filter. All we have to do is open this up, and we can take this filter out. And you can clean this by running it under some water. Perhaps leave it out for a bit, make sure it's fairly dry, and then you can put it right back in and close the top, and then your filter should be clean and good to go so that the filter doesn't get too dirty and clogged up. The next thing that we're gonna do is set this robot vacuum up with the app, and we can do this by downloading and exploring the SharkClean app. What we're gonna do is take out a smartphone that we wanna set up this app on. And on my smartphone, I'm gonna open up my camera, take a look at that QR code, and then I can click on the little link right here. That'll take me over to the app page where I can install it from there. If you're not able to do this by scanning the QR code, you can also just open up the App Store on your smartphone. So if you're on an Android device, it's gonna be the Google Play Store. If you're on an iPhone, it's gonna be the App Store. You can launch that. And then we're gonna search for SharkClean. In the search area, gonna type that in. And we're going to search for SharkClean, and then it should show up in your search results. So you can download and install it from the SharkClean page. We can open the app from here, or we can head back over to our home page. And the SharkClean app should show up on one of your home pages. You can scroll through and you should find it somewhere, but if you don't, if you're on an Android device, you can scroll up with your thumb from the bottom of the screen, and that will open up all of your apps in alphabetical order. And we can go down and find the SharkClean app right here, hold our finger down on it, and drag and drop it onto our home screen where we'd like it to be located. So now at this point, I'm going to open up the SharkClean application. I need to select my country or region, United States, and then continue. You can take a look at the terms and conditions, the privacy notice, and checking this box is optional. It's basically giving Shark the approval to send them information from the application. They can collect that event information to try to improve the system. So it's up to you if you want to check this or not, and then click I agree if everything looks good. If you already have a Shark account, you can enter in the email for that right here and continue. If you don't have an account, we can click sign up. In the sign up area, enter in the email that you want associated with your Shark account and then click continue. I'm going to create a passkey for this login so I can use my biometric, which is my fingerprint, to log in. I'm going to do that option by clicking where it says create a passkey. Now I need to verify my email, so I'm going to go over to my email inbox, find the email that Shark Ninja just sent me, open that up. And in that email, I'm going to click verify. If the email doesn't show up in your inbox, you can always check your clutter or junk folder, spam folder, things like that to see if it shows up in those areas. So I'm going to click verify. Now it's time to set up our robot through the app, and we're going to do this by clicking the option here where it says Start Setup. It already has permission to use Bluetooth, and the next one is going to be scanning for nearby devices, allowing the app to find the robot's signal. I'm going to click on that arrow and click Allow. And then the location is going to allow it to connect to the Wi-Fi network. So again, I'm going to click this arrow, and I'm going to click while using this app. It has this permission, and then click Next. Next step is going to be preparing the robot. Click Next. And this is what I did earlier in the video where I plugged the dock in near my Wi-Fi router, not too far away. The robot powered on when I put it onto the base, confirmed the robot is charging, and we did that when we saw the light go from green to blue on the base. And then I need to stay close to the robot for this part where I'm going to pair. So I'm going to click I am ready to pair. Some robots will pair automatically, but if yours doesn't, see below for pairing mode instructions. You can look at these different instructions depending on what you're seeing from your particular robot vacuum. I'm going to click Start Searching. In my example, it didn't pair right away. My robot has 2 buttons, so I'm going to click on that option. And it wants me to press and hold both buttons for 5 to 7 seconds to turn on pairing mode. So easy enough. I'm going to go over to my robot vacuum and click the dock and clean buttons simultaneously, holding those down for about 5 to 7 seconds. And while doing this, I'm going to make sure that the robot light indicators are blinking or the robot said, I am ready to connect to Wi-Fi. And my phone was able to find the signal. This popped up. I need to click on the Shark option right here. It has successfully paired to my phone, so I can click Next. And you're going to need to connect this device over 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, which is pretty common with these smart home type devices. A lot of Wi-Fi routers these days are going to be able to have 2.4 gigahertz as well as 5G, 6G, things like that. But your network will show up here if you have a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi option to connect to. And I'm going to click on that for me right here. And then enter in your Wi-Fi password and click Connect to Wi-Fi. It'll take a little bit of time here for it to connect up, but as long as you entered in your password successfully, you should get a green check mark here that you're connected up and ready to go with that internet connection. Now it's going to connect to the server, and then this will also take a little bit of time. Connecting to the server did take a bit more time than configuring, but then after that, it should go through registering and optimizing, and once we get all of these green check marks, we're going to click Continue. And now if you want, you can name your robot, selecting that. I'm going to be pretty boring and just type in Shark for the name, and then I'm going to click Go to Dashboard. And I'm going to allow this app to send notifications to me, so I'm going to click Allow. And for me, it's going to need the battery to charge a little bit more before I can start it and building that first map. I'm at a 40% charge, and I'm going to wait for this to charge up. Then I can come back into the app, and I can click where it says Start Map Setup. Coming back to check on the SharkClean app after a couple of hours, and I can see that the device has now charged up to 100%. Now, you might notice that when you're initially charging, that this number doesn't update super frequently. The number can get kind of stale. I noticed that I started at 40%, then it went to 50%, 60%, etc. So if you see that that number isn't going up right away once you just start charging, that's why it just kind of updates this number more slowly after each 10%. Other robot vacuums that I have, they're more specific with this, where it'll be the exact number that the vacuum is currently at. But for whatever reason, this one is just a little less specific. But I recommend charging it up to 100% before doing the first cleaning and mapping of your area. So now what we're going to do at this point is we're going to click where it says Start Map Setup. And we're going to be able to personalize this map. So what we're going to do is click Next. We'll have the option to add no-go zones if there's areas where you don't want the vacuum to go or areas where it might get caught. Those are where no-go zones can be helpful. Additionally, you can have specific areas that do an extra deep clean more so than other areas. Moving on to the next page, it says, let's map your home. Prepare your space. This is important so that the device can map your home accurately without disruption. So I cleaned up everything off the floor and have everything good to go for the device to map the space. So I'm going to click prepare. Of course, you're also going to want to open interior doors as well as removing obstacles. I've done this, so I'm going to check this box and click next. And now I'm going to have it do an explore run where it's going to move around and create a map. So I'm going to click start explore run. Do not stand in front of the robot. This can hinder map generation. So we're going to start the explore run. As soon as we do this, it should leave its base and start moving around your area to make a map. Once it's done exploring, it goes back to the dock and it'll upload the map into your SharkClean app. You can take a look at the map, and if you'd like it to re-explore, it can do that. Otherwise, you can approve the map that it has come up with. So I'm going to approve this map. And now if you want, you can edit the map, or you can skip this if you don't want to edit it. So if we enter the edit map option, you can create rooms on the map. You can also create no-go zones by clicking no-go zones and then clicking add. Then you can drag and drop the no-go zone where you'd want it to be, and you can make it exactly the size that you'd want with these adjustments on screen. And once you're done with that, you can click the little check mark in the upper right-hand corner, but I don't want to create a no-go zone, so I'm going to delete this. And those settings are going to be optional, but once we go through that and set up everything how we want it, then we get to the home page. We can also open up our menu here in the upper left-hand corner. You can set a schedule for how often your Robovac cleans your area. You can edit the map. And that's where you can add the no-go zones or rooms, for instance. You can also have it re-explore the area if you would like it to do that. Now I'm going to have it do its first clean. You can clean specific rooms, a spot area. I'm going to have it do the entire map that it has created. So that's the home option. And then I'm going to click clean. And you can select how powerful you want the suction to be. In economy mode, the benefit there is the battery will last longer, but the suction won't be as strong, whereas normal is somewhere in between, and then max has the most suction, but it will go through the battery quicker. I'm going to do the max option and then click start cleaning. While it's cleaning, you have the option to send it back to the dock. You can pause the cleaning, or if it got caught under something, for instance, you could click find robot to help you find wherever it may be. Once it's done cleaning, the robot vacuum will automatically head back to the base. Also, during the cleaning process, if it gets low on battery, it will automatically go to the base as well, charge back up, and then continue on cleaning. Additionally, if the canister gets full of dirt through the cleaning process and it needs to be emptied out, it will go back to the base as well to deposit that dirt into the base. And once it's all done, it'll say mission complete, and you can view the cleaning report. So I'm going to click on that. And it'll give you an overlay of the map. In the purple area is where the robot vacuum cleaned. And then these little white areas that you see is where it was unable to clean. So for this example, I have some shelves right here. Obviously, it wasn't able to get under there. Some spots like behind a toilet, behind a sink, things like that in the bathroom. And then there's an end table here that would be tricky to get under, and little areas like that that you would expect that the vacuum wouldn't be able to get to. And at the end of the day, it did a good job of cleaning all the areas that it was able to access. So we can exit out of this. That brings us back over to the homepage where we can see that the robot vacuum is charging and what percentage it's at. And that'll wrap up this setup video. So I hope it was helpful in some way. I appreciate you guys stopping by, and consider subscribing for more content in the future.